Brother, here's the keys. Our bigs have to start to reestablish themselves a little bit defensively, okay? We certainly need to rebound the ball better than what we have, and we got to keep the ball moving on offense. We can't be ball stoppers.
And finally, the team was really hot before these last couple, 3 games. What's the biggest key to turning the momentum around?
It's just attitude. It's anything in life is about attitude. This is about attitude. This thing could change in a second if we wanted to.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Yep.
the campus of St. Patrick High School, the oldest all-boys high school in the state of Illinois, for tonight's East Suburban Catholic Conference marching matchup between the visiting Hilltoppers of Joliet Catholic and your St. Patrick Shamrocks. Before we begin tonight's game, I'd like to introduce to you a junior here at St. Patrick High School, Mr. Anthony Pasquale, and he will lead us in tonight's prayer.
Coaches, and fans. And Lord, we ask you to bless in a special way those at home and around the world and protect us in their service to our great country. As always, we ask this through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. St. John Baptist in the South, live Jesus in our hearts.
I ask that you remain standing as we honor America and listen to the St. Patrick High School band play our national anthem.
Anthony Pasquale, and welcome to Max Kurland Court for an ESCC showdown between your St. Patrick Shamrocks and the tall, lanky body, passes it over to Lawrence, over back to X on the right wing. Lawrence on top, fakes a pass, bounce pass to Joliet. The rebound by Io, can't grab it, and it'll be Hilltopper's ball. Number 2 shuffles it over to number 14. Number 14 is Brandon Wills. Shuffles it back to number 2, Tyrell. Tyrell kicks it to Wells again. And Wills tries to get it back to Tyrell, can't, gives it to number 3, that's Jack Surin. By the Hilltopper. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remain here in the first quarter. And the Shamrocks lead 5-0.
The last time we saw you, ladies and gentlemen, I believe was the game against Bennett Academy when Lawrence Merritt hit the 3 at the buzzer to win the game. And since then, the Shamrocks beat the 8th-ranked team in state, Orr Academy, and they beat Carmel Catholic and Dundee Crown to bring our rank in state down to 10. 10th in the state of Illinois. But after that, they dropped 3 games in a row to Marian Catholic, Loyola Academy, and St. Viator, which I believe brought us just out of the top 25 looking in. So now at 18-5, we sit here tonight to bring you the Shamrocks
against the Hilltoppers from Joliet Catholic. It's an ESCC conference game where the Shamrocks are 4-2. And Joliet Catholic is 2-3. Overall, Catholic is 10 and 11. And they struggled this season, but is coming off a big ESCC victory as they beat Naz by 7 last week. Lawrence gives it on top to Alton. Over to X on the top of the key. Shuffles the pass to Jalen. Jalen's looking around, but can't find anywhere to go. Gives it to Lawrence on top. On the side to Alton, into Io. Right into Lawrence. Gets a hit out of bounds. Again.
Keaton Thomas, Jeremiah Jones,
Thomas and Jeremiah Jones, and Max Trophy come on in for Jalen, Alton, and Aya. X takes the shot, no good. But the rebound goes off the Hilltoppers, and the Shamrocks will remain with possession. X gives it to Trophy right under the hoop, and he gets it to go. Lawrence playing defense at number 3. 3 gets past him by the help of the screen. Joliet begins to penetrate, but kicks it right back out for Finch to take a 3 off the mark. Here's Tyrell inside. He misses. And another air ball to number 33. And the Shamrocks are heading back down the court. Lawrence the 3, smack. He hits it.
And Joliet finally gets one to go. That's Tyrell. And the score is 10-3. X gives it to Keyshawn. Keyshawn over to Max. Max to X. X flips it all the way over to Keyshawn.
Gives it to Lawrence. Lawrence to Max. Max takes a deep 3, and we know his range is almighty, but can't get that to go. Lawrence almost picks his pocket. And the Hilltoppers have a guy wide open. He drives right in, makes an easy bucket. Looks like Coach Bailey comes. As you can hear, our spectacular St. Patrick band playing. Led by Mr. Austin O'Brien, who does a great job directing his band. You see Leo Erickson sporting the USA theme right now. Shamrocks lead by 5 with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. X with the ball now, dribbling it up the court. Goes right with it. Gives it on top to Lawrence in the corner. For Keyshawn, back to Lawrence. Keyshawn on top. To Max on the wing. Back to Lawrence on top. Shuffles it over to X. Tries to dribble the baseline. And they'll call out of bounds on X. I thought they were going to call a blocking foul, but defense by Joliet Catholic forced X out of bounds. Looks like Isles back in the game. And I assume with him comes Alton. In the corner, that's Tyrell. And Alton did not come into the game. And Finch takes the 3, misses it. Tyrell with it now, back to number 3 on top. Over to 14. Gives it back to number 3, that's Surin. Kicks it over to Tyrell. Tyrell passes it to Finch on top. Finch has the body like Xavier Pinson, but a little bit taller. Probably not as shifty. And Joliet Catholic makes an acrobatic layup there by Reagan, and he'll head to the line to attempt an and 1. That was Max Trophy foul, his first. And Alton checks into the game along with Mike Killian. Mike Killian, a senior, this is, I believe, his first action of the year that we've seen as a broadcast crew, except for, I believe, one of the blowouts early on this year. As you know, or maybe do not know, tomorrow is senior night here for the Shamrocks.
This year being Mike Killian, Luke Labus, Jack McLaughlin, Keyshawn Thomas, Nancy Merritt, Jalen Nelson, Ira Ajayi, Max Jeffrey, and Alton Thompson. Meanwhile, X takes a shot off the backboard. Alton comes and jams it in. The putback attempt is good. The crowd begins to buzz after an electrifying putback attempt by Alton. Io gets that two-pointer to go, and the Shamrocks now are up 14-8. And Finch comes in, gets a block there on Killian. The Shamrocks lead by 6 with a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. This is number 1, Dominic Finch, taking the shot and making the shot. 14-9. And the second attempt is good. The Shamrocks lead is cut to 4 as X dribbles down the court. Shovels it over to Jalen on the left wing. Dribbles it on the top of the key on the right wing to X. Step move in, gives it to Jalen back on top. Takes a mid-range jumper, no good. And he tips the rebound. Io tips it, and Io gets it. Over to X on top. Lobs it up to Alton, and he gets the dunk to go and one. Eric Alton provides a spark to this team that I haven't seen in 3 years, and it seems like St. Pat's Gym hasn't seen ever. Alton will have a chance to a three-point play, one of the strangest you might ever see. An alley-oop attempt, dunks it over someone, and the foul. The free throw is up, no good. Io can't snag the rebound, but that doesn't take away from the incredible play made by Xavier to Alton. The dynamic duo we've heard all about this year. Number 23 from the Hilltoppers takes a shot, and that's no good. That was Dexter Spencer who missed it, but the Hilltoppers were able to locate the rebound and reshuffle the offense. One of the things Coach Bailey said today is he really wants to get the rebounding back going. He needs the bigs to start playing by bigs. And right in, misses the shot, dives all over the place, but Jalen still maintains possession and dribbles it back up. Shovels it over to X on the right wing. Looks at the baseline towards Io, but pulls it back up slowly. With a minute left, the Shamrocks may hold for the last shot. That's something Coach Bailey is notorious for. He's not a really big fan of the 2-for-1 because there is no shot clock. So he likes to hold for the last shot, guarantee points, but more importantly, guarantee no points for the opponent. There's 12 seconds, 11, 10 seconds remaining. And now they begin to run the offense. X dribbles, kicks it over to Jalen. Jalen takes a jumper. Jalen hits the jumper. The SS Jalen is good. The Hilltoppers take an attempt at the buzzer, and it's short. After the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Shamrocks lead 18-10. And in between quarters, you see the phenomenal St. Patrick cheerleading squad out there to perform. Shamrocks lead by 8, and the score is 18-10. Shamrocks' leading scorer is none other than Alton Thompson with 7 points of the 18. Couple assists, obviously, by Xavier. Looks like the Hilltoppers have been led by Dominic Finch, number 1. He's a 6'6" senior, but he plays like a guard. And then the second quarter, I really think the Shamrocks will start to put some points up there, get some of the chemistry that they've had earlier when they started 18-2 back before dropping these last 3. The Shamrocks have yet to lose a home game this season, knock on wood, as all 3 recently that they have lost, being Marian Catholic, Loyola, and St. Viator, being on the road, the other 2 being neutral in tournaments, the championship of tournaments, that is. Here's Spencer with the ball, passes it to Finch. Finch takes it in the paint, gets the little finger roll to go. And Alton shovels it in to X. Alton to X, X to Alton. 2 names we've heard contributing to each other all year long. Lawrence drives the baseline like Shawneck used to. Shovels it in the corner to Keyshawn for 3. Schmack! The bullet hits it. And number 52 for Joliet Catholic with it now, that's Brett Hirsch. And Alton plays straight up defense, grabs the rebound. Great play there by Alton. And a bucket there. That brings Lawrence's total on the day to 5. And the Shamrocks now lead by 11. And I believe senior Luke Labus, number 21, is in the game now. And that floater attempt is no good. The second one is no good as well. And Alton grabs a rebound. Number 23 on Joliet Catholic is their senior guard, Dexter Spencer. Probably plays a similar style to that of Keyshawn Thomas, our number 23. Keyshawn fakes a shot, gives it to Alton, over to Jalen. Jalen dribbles in. Jalen passes it out. Shovels it over to Keyshawn, kicks it in the corner to Luke Labus for 3, and he hits it. Schmack! Luke Labus smacks a 3, and now he's D'ing up. And they're going to call a foul there. Number 22, Jack McLaughlin's coming in. Another senior, getting some action tonight. And that's stripped by Xavier, but the JCA player regains possession, and they'll call a foul there. And that foul was called on Jeremiah Jones, the machine, who's only a junior and will be joining the team next year. Looks like on the team this year that will be playing next year, we've got Xavier, and we've got Jeremiah Jones, and we should be seeing a lot more of Chris Law next year, along with Frankie Mott, Eric Liss, Kui Dang, John Mulcrone. A lot of promise for the junior class. Jack dribbles in, shovels it over on the corner to Jeremiah, can't get it to go. Rebound attempt no good, and here come the Hilltoppers. Just over half court they are. Over number 33. Gives it to 14 on top to Tyrell. And Jeremiah with the steal, gives it to X. Look at that move. The layup is no good, but they call it goaltending. And the ball belongs in the basket for X. His first 2 of the night, coming with a little under 5 to go here in the second quarter. but he still made his contributions, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it. The stud section begins to fill up as the Shamrocks' lead begins to rise. And they'll call a foul. Excuse me, they'll call a charge. Jalen Nelson takes a charge. You saw the Shamrock bench rise with excitement as they cheered on their gritty player, Jalen Nelson, who did the dirty work and took a charge. Of course, Jalen Nelson is known primarily for his shot he hit last year against ND. A thrilling three-pointer at the buzzer to power the Shamrocks to a buzzer-beating victory. This year, I hope we lose a little bit of the drama and beat them handily. And SS Jalen hits another three, right on cue. This year, I believe the Notre Dame game is two broadcasts from now, February 22nd, a Wednesday, where the Shamrocks look to continue their winning streak against Notre Dame. Over to Alton. Alton right in. Gets that one knocked away as he goes up. And this hectic back and forth game of basketball continues. And Dexter Spencer hits a shot. And the Shamrocks' lead is 16. Axe slowly brings it towards half court. Passes it to Lawrence. All the way on the other side. To Alton. Back to Alton on top. Alton hits another three. Schmack! Alton Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, he can not only just dunk, he can shoot. Lawrence Merritt plays some great defense. Tips it away. Rebound. Stolen away by Alton. Gets it back. And the Hilltoppers sink a three. 34-18. Axe is right back up with it. Seeing if he can break down the defense. Passes it over to Lawrence. Lawrence gets on a wing, so it's just Axe and Spencer. In the corner for Lawrence for three. No good. Rebound by Spencer. And he shovels it all the way over to number 33. That's Reagan. And JCA takes another shot attempt, no good. And they're coming back down the floor, the Shamrocks. Over to Alton. Back to Axe. Axe will slow things down. He has a maturity that we haven't seen from a junior at the point guard position. Gets that poked away from him, and here comes Spencer. Alton swats it! But number 33, Reagan, is able to get it back up and in. Axe again slowing things down, giving his team a chance to regroup and set up the offense as he takes it in on top for Alton. Comes right down, gets fouled, and the layup attempt is no good. You heard the slap from up here, ladies and gentlemen. Alton, with a mark on his right arm, will head to the line. And Air Alton's first attempt from the line is no good. I think the biggest weakness in Air Alton's game is his free throw shooting. As Max Chofie checks into the game for Jeremiah Jones. It'll be lights out Lawrence, X Pinson, Air Alton, SS Jalen, and the chauffeur, Max Chofie. For the last 2 minutes and change in the first half. As Alton sinks one, bringing his total on the game to 11. Max playing defense. Alton almost got a steal, which would have led to a highlight reel dunk, I assume. A shot taken by Spencer, no good. The rebound by Jalen got poked out of his hands by Donovan Finch. And that, of course, was over the back, so it'll be Shamrock ball with 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the first half of play. At halftime, our surprise interview will not be done live. It'll be a pre-recorded interview with Coach Bailey and myself. X makes it over the line with the ball. They go up for Alton, and Alton slams it down. Alton does what he does best and takes air, propelling the Shamrocks to a 17-point lead. That court is called on JCA, and it'll be the Shamrock ball yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot express the amount of spark and electricity that Alton Thompson brings to the Shamrocks. So many of these fans, players even, have never seen someone bring this type of energy to a basketball team. And I can guarantee you that's why we've seen such a big improvement in our stud section attendance and game attendance. Everybody wants to see this kid play. X on top for Jalen. Jalen takes a 2, I believe, and can't get it, but Alton right there for the putback, and he's having himself a game. 15 already. And over the half-court line is number 3. Gets past a couple of defenders, takes a layup, and gets that to go. Beautiful ball movement by number 3, Jack Surin. And X is down the court in just seconds. And he saves the ball. And they call him out of bounds. Trophy's rebound attempt took Xavier out of bounds with the ball. And so it'll be 48 seconds for the Hilltoppers to narrow the Shamrocks' lead, which right now is 17. And the Hilltoppers are under some pressure right in the paint, and they'll get a bucket to go, 39-24. Shamrocks have 35 seconds to get something going. And you know Coach Bailey, they will hold for the final shot of the quarter, it looks like. What usually ends up happening is they begin to run their offense at about 10 seconds remaining in the quarter, and they score so quickly that JCA ends up with another chance. We'll see how it goes here. Lawrence with the ball. 13 seconds remaining in the first half of play. This ESCC showdown between the Shamrocks and the JCA Hilltoppers. Kicks it out to Lawrence with 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Jalen at the buzzer. No good. But ladies and gentlemen, that man has one buzzer beater under his belt. That, of course, was the Notre Dame game last year. At the end of the first half, powered by Alton's 15 points, the Shamrocks lead by 15, 39-24. Stay tuned for an interview with Coach Bailey coming up next, and we'll be back for the second half of play shortly. Rock on.
Hall of Famer Coach Bailey for our annual season preview. Thanks for joining us, Coach. All of us understand that you're a really good basketball coach, but a lot of people would like to know a little bit more about you. So I've got a couple of questions for you. What's your favorite pregame meal?
Pre-game meal is always popcorn.
Popcorn?
Right? And I would tell you, Coach Glorioso and Rhonda up in the doghouse, nobody makes popcorn better throughout the ESCC, hands down, the best popcorn is at St. Patrick High School.
Who is your favorite basketball player, pro, college, past, present?
Larry Bird. He was
Bird.
always kind of the guy. I thought he was just a fundamentally sound guy who played hard and played for the team all the time. So he's been a guy that we reference it. With our players now, we got to kind of go back to YouTube to kind of see Larry Bird a little bit, but he's always a guy that we kind of reference to a little bit.
How about a favorite basketball coach?
You know, there's been so many influences along my life and all that when it comes to coaching. Probably one of the guys that's been one of the biggest influences has been the women's basketball coach at DePaul, Doug Bruno. He's one of our Olympic coaches, and he certainly has been one of many coaches that's had a major influence on my coaching career.
Do you have a favorite basketball team, past or present?
The Boston Celtics. My son is one of the assistant coaches with the Boston Celtics, so other than St. Patrick High School, okay, our favorite basketball team is the Boston Celtics, and I've just been blessed with my wife and my daughter and my son. Basketball has just been such a large part of our life, and I think it's been something that's really kind of bonded our family together a little bit.
And also another thing, that a sport that's been in your life a lot is baseball, as you are one of the biggest Cub fans walking around the hallways. Do you have a favorite Cubs player?
You know, the all-time favorite Cubs player, Ernie Banks, all right? Right now, I think we all like Schwarber right now,
Yeah.
all right? And, you know, it's just nice, you know, to be able to walk the hallways and see, you know, the Bobby Fiorantes of the world and just remind them that the Cubs won the World Series this year. And you know what? We're probably going to win the World Series the next 10 years. So.
Sounds about right. So now that we know a little bit more about the man calling the shots for our team that has won 3 consecutive regional titles, let's talk a little bit about the team. Obviously last year you guys went to the sectional. This year there's a lot of high hopes for the team. What's the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's?
I think experience. So we bring back, I believe we have 9 seniors on the team, and I believe a good 4 or 5 of those guys played at regular rotation minutes for us last year. So I think one of the major differences at this point of the season to last year at this point of the season is just the experience level. We only had 3 seniors on our team last year who did a tremendous job for us. But right now I think we're just a little bit more seasoned because so many of those guys have played at the varsity level for us last year.
Like Lawrence, Jalen, Keyshawn, just
Right.
to name a couple. So height is something that you guys have lacked in a couple seasons past, where we've been familiar with seeing like 5-guard lineups. This year you don't really have to worry about things like that with guys like Jeremiah and Alton and Io. Is there any difference coaching a team that's taller like that?
Yeah, we've done, obviously we've done a lot of research as a coaching staff and just kind of, I think what you have to do as a coach is you have to be able to adjust your program, what you want to do, your philosophy to what your team is made up of. So in the last few years, we've been a little bit smaller, okay, played, as you said, a 5-guard lineup. This year, we've just done a lot of research going back to some of the teams we've had in the past years and play a traditional 2 bigs, if you would say, a 3-guard lineup. And I think we have the depth to do it with our bigs, and certainly have the depth to do it with our perimeter players.
Give me 3 keys instead of to the game, as I'll ask you those on game days. What's 3 keys to the season as a whole?
Yeah, I think really it always comes down, Nancy, to how we defend. Now this year we're extending our defense down the floor a little bit more, as you'll see in the games coming up. We our first 4 games of the season we generate a lot of offense off our defense because we've been pressing down the floor, and it's the style that we've always wanted to play, that we have played in past years. But I think this is a group that really gravitates towards that a little bit more. So how well we defend and extending our defense on the floor. How well we share the basketball is always going to be a key with this team right here. We have some talented players, okay, and now how we can mesh those guys together as a unit, okay, and share the basketball will go a long way. And then I just think leadership. You know, we've been blessed in the last few years with guys like Nick Holman, Sean Eck, amongst a lot of other guys have gone with those guys. But those are 2 of the best leaders that we've had since I've been here. So where will our leadership about from a little bit?
And the way you describe the defense extending, that reminds me a lot of the Louisville Cardinals, the way they play under Rick Pitino. So are there any games that you have circled on the calendar for this year?
You know, I mean, our league is so good this year. It always is. It's always one of the top 2 or 3 leagues, and some years maybe the best league in the state of Illinois. And we can say that about a lot of sports in our conference, but certainly in basketball. So any ESCC game is just huge for us right here. You know, we always kind of point to the York Christmas tournament a little bit, and we think that's kind of about halfway through the season. see how, I think it's a good gauge to see where we're at and what we have to work on, where we're at, what we have to improve upon as we kind of go into January and February, the key months in the conference, and then leading up to the state tournament.
So you've coached here for how many years?
This is my 23rd.
23rd year. What is the most memorable moment in those 23 years?
You know, I would say really to pinpoint this game or this team or that player, I don't think would be fair. I really think what it is, it's the relationship that our basketball team has always had with our stud section. It's I think unique. I think that you can really feel that the stud section is part of our basketball program. You know, we need to generate maybe some bigger crowds or more crowds like we used to, but certainly we get a hardcore group of about 20, 25 guys that follow us, and then certain nights we have hundreds of guys that are out there following us and alums and all that. So I really think it's been the thing that I've enjoyed the most in my 23 years has been that relationship between our players, our students, and our alums right there. I think it makes for a unique atmosphere in there.
So last year in our preseason interview, we talked about how you rarely, if ever, sit down on the bench. And you talked about how Coach Curlin was more of a type of coach that liked his seat saved on the bench. Do you have like a coaching inspiration, or is there a coach that you try to coach like, or you just kind of blend other coaches together?
You know, I really try to blend take a mix of a lot of different coaches, whether it's coaches that I personally know or that I watch on TV a little bit. I always think that your team is going to be a little bit of a microcosm of who you are as a person, as a coach. So certainly there's been a lot of coaches that have been much more successful than I've been, just maybe being a little bit more laid back. That's not my personality, all right? And I think you always have to teach, you have to coach, you have to play to your personality. And my personality is probably a little bit more get up and down, energetic, be a little bit maybe a little bit louder, maybe try to help the referees a little bit more than some coaches do, you know. But I think it's who I am, and I think that our team kind of feeds off of that energy.
So I have a nickname for a lot of the players. Like Lawrence would be Lights Out Lawrence because he's a pretty good shooter. How would you like diagnose your nickname? What would your nickname be?
My nickname? That's a very good question. Yeah. I would say you've stumped me here. This is the first time a reporter has stumped me right here. I don't know. I would like to be. How about Yoda?
Yoda.
Yoda. All right. He was short. All right, and he was smart. All right. We'll go with Yoda.
So obviously, you guys have made the regionals and won the regionals 3 consecutive seasons. Are you guys thinking in your heads about a 4-peat, or is that too far ahead in the future?
You know, the kind of the buzzword amongst coaches right now, or the cliche term is the process of just trying to get better each and every day. And if you get better as a team each and every day, you get better as a coach, you get better as a player, as a student, as a person each and every day, the wins will kind of take care of themselves at the end. We do try to always understand that we kind of divide the season into 4 areas: Thanksgiving tournament, Christmas tournament, the conference play, and then the most important being the state tournament. So really what we do try to do through the process of trying to get better every day is grow and grow and grow, and hopefully getting to a point where we're playing our best basketball by state tournament time.
So what are some goals or expectations for this year's team?
You know, I think it's just if we take care of things, if we control the controllables, is what I would tell our players. We can't always control how the other teams, the referees, for example, we can't control the referees, we can't control the preparation of the other team, we can't control the weather, but we can control our preparation, we can control how we interact, we can control how we take care of business in the classroom and off the court, you know, those types of issues like that. So if we could just control the controllables, then I think, you know, the success will take care of itself.
That's all the time we have here today, Shamrock fans. Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Anthony, thank you, and everybody, everything you do with the video upstairs and all that. It adds a class touch to our basketball program. I know we get a lot of alums and students and people that watch it, and it's really been a large part of our basketball program. So thanks to you guys for everything you guys do for us.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Thanks for your time today, and good luck.
Okay, good. Thanks, guys.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of action. During our break, I hope you enjoyed my interview with Coach Bailey. And we missed one score by the Shamrocks, and it was a three-pointer by none other than Alton Thompson. The Shamrocks hold a 13-point lead, 41-28, with 6.5 to go in the third quarter. It'll be Alton, Jalen, Io, Xavier, and Lawrence, the same starting five from the beginning of the game. It'll be junior X Pinson with the ball now, who's only scored 2 points tonight, but has been heavily involved in the offense. Lawrence over to Alton, way up top. Sets the screen to get himself down low. He's open on the corner. Fake a three. Come back up, give it to Lawrence, over to Xavier. And Alton's in the corner. Jalen over on top to X again. And Lawrence takes a three, no good. X and Alton try for the rebound, can't get it, and it'll be Joliet Catholic ball. That's number 3, Reagan with it now. Over to number 3, I believe that is Surin. Almost gets it stolen by Lawrence. Gives it back to Reagan. Reagan can't find anywhere to go with it, so he shuffles it over on the top of the key to number 14, Brandon Wills. Gives it back to Reagan. Reagan in the corner. Back to Finch. Finch takes a shot and sinks it from the baseline. Shamrock's lead is cut to 11. And there's a bucket by JCA. And the Shamrocks lead is cut to 9. Xavier really starts to slow things down as the Shamrocks will call a timeout. And the Joliet Catholic team is really pumped up right now. I believe they're the only ones pumped up in the building, however, because the Shamrocks have lost some of the spark that they had earlier on in this game and earlier on in this quarter. If I was Coach Bailey, I'd probably be talking about getting back those rebounds and trying to maintain offensive possessions and limit their second opportunities and try to give us some more second chance opportunities. There you see Yoda delivering a message. It looks like a pretty strict, harsh message to the Shamrocks to try to get them back into this game. Just as he talked about before the game, all it takes is an attitude. And the last 12 months of sports, we've seen that attitude. College basketball, Villanova beating North Carolina. College football, Clemson beating Alabama. The NBA Finals, the Cavaliers beating the Golden State Warriors. The World Series, of course, with the Cubs coming back from 3-1 deficit against the Indians. And most recently, last Sunday, Tom Brady and the Patriots coming back from 25 points to win the Super Bowl. All those teams have the attitude, a winning attitude, a win not out attitude. Now let's see if the Shamrocks have that same attitude. I think they do. Coach Bailey thinks they do. Let's see if they do. X with the ball now. Gives it to Max on top, who has checked in the game for Alton. Over to Jeremiah, fakes a three. Kicks it over to Max, who fakes a three. Gives it to X on top. Over to Jeremiah on the right wing, gives it back to Lawrence. Passes it to Keyshawn on the left wing. Drives right in, kicks it out to Lawrence for three. Schmack! He hits it, and the Shamrocks have that flow on the offense back. 44-32. And it'll be number 3 at the line. That's Jack Sayin. Jack Sayin at the line, and he misses the shot. But the Shamrocks' lead is only 10 at the moment. Let's see if this offensive possession can bring something that can spark the Shamrocks to a little bit of a run that puts this game away. Keyshawn with the ball on top, passes it out on the wing to Jeremiah, dribbles it on top of the key as Lawrence dribbles in, dribbles out, gives it to Max for 3. Schmack! The chauffeur hits it from deep 3-point range. But as we know, there is not a spot on this court that Max Chofrey could not hit a shot from. His range is impeccable. And the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers begin to claw away at this lead with a 3 of their own, but it's off the mark. Max gives it to X, who will run the court. Give it to Keyshawn. Shot fake. Back to X on top. Shuffles it over to Lawrence. Lawrence gives it to Max on the baseline. Spin move, takes a shot, bounces off the rim, no good. And off of Xavier, the ball will go to the Hilltoppers. Looks like the Shamrocks have brought back that full court pressure, and Lawrence is playing some tight defense right now. On number 3, that is Surin. Surin with the ball now, fakes a shot, gives it to number 14 on top, that's Wills, over to Finch. 33 Reagan calling for the ball, but Tyrell passes it off the foot of Xavier Pinson. Kickball violation, the ball remains with the Hilltoppers. So the Hilltoppers have Surin, Tyrell, Finch, and Reagan in the game right now. Alton comes in the game for Jeremiah. An acrobatic layup attempt is no good. Rebound goes off the Shamrocks. I thought it was off of number 14, Wills, but the referee decides otherwise. It'll be Hilltopper ball again. And the ball on the right wing. Loses it. They'll call a foul. I believe this one would be on Xavier. It's only his first foul of the game. Xavier does not come out of the game often. I do not believe he's checked out for more than 5 minutes of this contest, and I know there have been games this year where he hasn't even came out. He's a very durable player with a lot of endurance, and obviously he's always capable of bringing the spark to the team. As Finch, third time's the charm for Finch as he finally puts it in. Shamrock's lead is only 11. And it's passed over to Lawrence, swings it to X. X drives right in, takes a layup, no good. And the Hilltoppers have the ball back. And here comes Finch down the court. Peels away into the corner. Loses the ball. And it's a backcourt violation, Shamrock ball. The Hilltoppers had 2 options there. Grab the ball and turn it over to the Shamrocks, or let Alton take it and most likely jam it. They took the wiser of the 2 options, I believe. We'll see what this possession brings for the Shamrocks, who lead by 11 with 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Xavier with it now. And that one's off the mark. Jalen can't get to that as Finch swings it over to number 3. On top to Wills. To Finch. Finch over to Wills. Takes a 3. Makes the 3. But it won't count. It'll be Shamrock ball. That foul was on number 52, Brett Hirsch. As X brings the ball up with less than a minute to go here in the third quarter of action. Nifty dribble move takes him right up to the rim. He misses the layup. Alton misses the putback attempt. And Lawrence misses the giveaway three. However, Xavier got fouled going up for that layup. So Alton's acrobatic putback attempt and obviously Lawrence's three-point shot will not count. But it will be X from the line. You can describe X as the way he plays the game is smooth and electric, flashy, but he's also pretty humble. He does everything quietly and is willing to allow other players to take the spotlight with his passing. And Xavier misses both, doesn't look too happy with himself, and he was unable to get back on defense, but it didn't matter. The pass went out of play. Alton to X to start this final possession of the third quarter as 30 seconds remain. X slows things down. There's 15 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The Shamrocks look like they'll begin something now with 7 seconds. X drives right in, takes a layup. No good, gets his own rebound and puts it back in. And at the buzzer, Joliet Catholic's attempt is no good. And at the end of 3 quarters, the Shamrocks lead 49-36. Powered by 18 strong points from Alton Thompson. We'll be back shortly for the fourth quarter of play. As you see, in between the third and fourth quarter, the cheerleading squad performs. And that's the end of the cheerleaders act. And the fourth quarter of play will follow. A fourth quarter which will decide whether or not the Shamrocks have a shot at their 20th win of the season tomorrow night, where we'll be right here at Ustream at 4:30 to broadcast the Shamrocks against Conant, 2 top schools in the state, one public, one Catholic, obviously. It'll be Comcast Sports Game of the Week. The Jesse White Tumblers will perform at halftime. But more importantly, we'll be right here to give you the action. Surin takes it over the line. Shamrocks are playing some tight pressure, and Spencer gets fouled. Dexter Spencer wears number 23 for Joliet Catholic. And Keyshawn Thomas wears number 23 for the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Here's Reagan with the ball. Over to Surin. Gives it to number 14. That's Wills. Gets that picked by X. Alton with the ball. A crossover gives it to X. And he'll stop things. Give it to Lawrence on top. Swings it over to Keyshawn. Gets fouled from behind. And the Shamrocks will have a chance to inbound and reset the offense. After the game, I will try again to get a word with one of the players. We'll see how that goes. Jalen over to Keyshawn, over to Alton, gives it to Lawrence. Back to X, inside is Jalen, passes it to Lawrence, takes a 3, no good. Looked like he took a little bit too much time trying to make sure he was behind the line, and it forced him to rush his shot and miss it. A traveling violation will send the ball back the Shamrock way. And Keyshawn makes an acrobatic layup, as he's got 5 on the day. Over to Finch. Finch gives it to Spencer. Spencer over to Surin. Surin's ball handling ends up in Spencer's hand. Over to Finch for 3, no good. Rebound by Surin, gets hacked by Lawrence. Alton looks a little bit upset that he doesn't have a chance to ignite this crowd yet again. For those of you who have been watching the game and following us on Twitter, tweet us who you would like me to interview after the game if the Shamrocks do indeed win. Surin misses the first free throw attempt. And the second one is missed as well. X shovels it over to Jalen. Jalen on top to Keyshawn. Over to Lawrence. Lawrence in the corner to Jalen. Passes it right into X. But it's knocked out of bounds. Shamrock ball. 6 minutes remain here in the final quarter of play of this ESCC showdown, where the Shamrocks have a chance to improve their record to 5-2, whereas Joliet Catholic would then drop to 2-5. As Xavier smacks a 3. And it'll be the Toppers at the line, with an 18-point deficit and 5:55 remaining. Dexter Spencer makes the first. And he makes the second. And they'll call a carry. And dribbling up the court is Aiden Tyrell. Passes it, almost stolen by Alton, but he recovers to play defense on number 33, Pete Reagan. Playing some tight defense. And it looks like they're going to call a foul on Alton. It really didn't seem like he did anything wrong. This is the best defense I think we've seen Alton play all season. And Spencer, guarded tightly by Alton, shovels it over to Tyrell, being guarded by Lawrence. In the corner to Wills, being guarded by X. Tyrell passes it, lollipop over to Spencer. Keeps it in bounds, gives it to number 14, Wills for 3, no good. Alton with the rebound. Coming down the court, he gives it to X. Easy layup for X, and it's good. X has 9. Over on top to Tyrell. Tyrell guarded tightly by Lawrence. Gets his pocket picked, but able to recover and make a layup. Shamrocks lead by 16, 56-40, with 4 minutes to go. X fakes a pass left, gives it to Keyshawn on his right, who drives right in and gets a floater to go. That's why we call him the Bullet, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to shoot right through the holes that the defense provides, or that he makes for himself. Keyshawn is one of the best ball handlers on the team. We'd like to take a brief moment to thank all our viewers for tuning in, along with Mike Glynn, the class of 2013, who we interviewed, I believe, last broadcast, who was a former anchor. Thank you for tuning in, Mike. And I'd also like to thank all my family members who are watching tonight, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, as Lawrence smacks a three, and the Shamrocks lead is 18. My grandmother, my aunt, and my uncle. Thank you all for tuning in. And it'll be Shamrock ball again as they have a chance to expand this lead. X dribbling up the court. The Shamrocks lead by 21. Keyshawn with the ball. Bounce pass to Lawrence on top to Alton. Gives it to, I believe, X. X over to Alton. Alton finds X. Spin move. Puts him right down the baseline. Gets fouled going up for a shot. And instead they call a travel. And it looks like they'll call a foul on Alton there. So far, Alton has led the way with 18 points. And if possible, I'll try to grab a word with him after this game. 2 minutes and 48 seconds remain until the Shamrocks secure their 19th win of the season. As we've seen in sports, anything is possible as the Shamrocks look to build upon this 21-point lead. Looks like there's a little bit of controversy going on with the referees. And after a conversation, they'll still put number 33, Reagan, on the line for a shot. And that shot is up and good. The lead is 20 for the Shamrocks as Alton to X inbounds. And the shot is no good, and it'll head back the other way. As we'd also like to thank Dan Cortez for tuning in, also from the class of 2013, who is also another former anchor on this webcast that we run currently. It looks like X was fouled and he'll head to the line as 2 minutes and a half remain. Luke Labus and Iowa Ajayi are both checked in. And X remains in the game as well. X dribbles past the guy. Comes in, takes a floater, no good. Rebound by Finch. Gives it over to number 2, Tyrell. And Tyrell takes it, passes it over to 33. That's Reagan who hits a 3 and brings the game to within 15. A minute and 50 seconds remain. Jalen working on Spencer right now. Gives it over to X. As a little over 90 seconds remain in this contest. The Shamrocks' 19th win is within reach. X dribbles in, kicks it over to Io. Gives it to Jalen, coming in for a floater, no good. And the rebound is made by 14 Wills, and he'll take it up the court. Pass it to 33 Reagan, who'll take another long 3. Can't get it to go. Finch can't get the putback to go, and X has the ball. Shovels it up to Alton, who would have had a chance to do something special but can't make it work. Here come the juniors. John Mulcrone, Frankie Mott, Eric Liss, Quidang, and Chris Lara. The class of 2018, perhaps the starting lineup next year, is in the game right now. Up 15 with a minute to go. Let's see what these juniors can do. And ladies and gentlemen, I do not believe it. X is checked out of the game. The IC alum John Mulcrono inbound to Quidang. And Quee dribbles, passes it over to the big man Eric Liss. Gives it to Frankie. Over to Quee. Quee gives it to Frankie. They're looking for, Eric turns it over. Chris Lara's got to get back on defense, and they all do. 52 Hutch takes a big three, and that goes in. 45 seconds remain, and the lead is 12. Quidang brings it up. Over to John Mulcrone. Mulcrone takes it on top, passes it to Frankie. Gives it to Eric on top. Over to Quee. Quee dribbles in, kicks it over to Chris. Chris goes up for a layup, no good. Rebound attempt, over to the Hilltoppers, 20 seconds. And that pass is intercepted, and another three is made. 8 seconds remain. John inbounds it to Quee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire up the fight song, Shamrocks. The Shamrocks win and move to 19-2. I'll be back in a moment as I try to interview one of the players tonight. We'll be back. We're here at the leading scorer, Alton, who scored 18 points. Tell me about the game.
It was a good game. I just feel like my teammates were finding me open.
And what does this win mean for the team moving forward?
One more time.
What does this win mean for the team moving forward?
We need 2 more big wins and we'll win conference, so we need to keep playing together.
Thanks, Alton. Good luck the rest of the way. And thank you to Alton Thompson for being available for an interview after the game. He totaled 18 points, and in my opinion would be the MVP of this contest. The Shamrocks won the game, and thank you for joining us tonight and all season long at Kirtland Court as the Shamrocks beat Joliet Catholic tonight and look to continue their winning streak tomorrow against Conant. We'd like to thank Coach Bailey for giving us his 3 keys before the game, and also his pre-recorded interview at halftime. And as well, Alton Thompson for his interview post-game. We'd like to express our gratitude for all the behind-the-scenes people who make this production possible. Andres Nablaze, Riley Sonderman, and Jack Warner all from the class of 2020. Andres doing the camera, Riley on audio, and Jack on video. We'd also like to thank Mr. Doyle, our producer and editor, who helped to make this production possible. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Pasquale, class of 2018. Join us again tomorrow, February 11th, where we take on Conant right here at Curling Court at 4:30. We'll be here at 4:30 on Ustream, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at SPHS Webcast, or email us at sphswebcast@stpatrick.org. That's all for tonight. Shamrock, secure the W. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow. Rock on.